Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a little bit about fur and how to color fur. So we got two things. Actually, let's get rid of this for a moment. First one, if I want to put on fur, if I go into create, and I'm using, say, my V-Ray fur, bloop, and add V-Ray fur to selection, boop, done. So I get this fur. And if I want to color it, if I render it right now, and we're in, there we go, we're in V-Ray, so you can see this. You can play around with your fur. If I go in and, let's get rid of this, go into the attribute editor, and I'll find my fur properties. It's easy to play with the thickness of it, the gravity. This is the only thing that's actually kind of animates. It doesn't, there's no real simulations you can do with the fur, but you can go in and play with the gravity, and the gravity will always make the hair point down when you're rotating it. But, and you can make bald things on it and stuff, but if I take this object and I go into the Hypershade, and let's see, if I went in and I assigned, actually I wonder if I can do some fast little trick here. If I went in and grabbed the V-Ray material, boop, and then I gotta go back and select my sphere, and if I right click and assign material to selection, and then if I went into the attribute editor for this, and let's go and throw on, say, something like a ramp. And I just passed by it, didn't I? 2D textures in Maya. There. Okay, and just for the demo purposes, I'll change this to a rainbow ramp. And as soon as I do that, this is on a vertical, so it'll make it go up and... Come on, you bastard! There, I'll move this over, and if I go and I render, you'll see I get colors based on whatever is on the material that the fur is assigned to. Okay, so that's the first one. First one. Again, just hitting escape. Escape. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so for number 2. So the next thing is using the Xgen generator. So I'll put this on. And I can go in here and I can create a new description. And I can go and make groomable splines. And I'll hit create. And that made some groovable splines. They're kind of short, so I'm going to go into the grooming section here and we'll increase their length. Okay, and I've got a lot of them. I could change my density if I wanted to. I think it's because I scaled this up. I've got to check my scene size. We can put the primitives on. I'll go over here to primitives and I'll hit the eyeball so we can see the primitives, and maybe they're a little bit on the... it seems like they're kind of skinny. If I go back over here to grooming for a section, what have I got? Width. I've got this on, update preview automatically. Okay, cool, so now they're wider. Go back to primitives, and I'll make these narrow so you can see what the hell I'm doing. Okay, and again, grooming, I can go ahead and use these brushes, the pose brush, and pose this. Okay, flip it to the right. Actually, I guess I'm so far into the right. Okay, and flip to the right. Put a little bit of noise in here, whatever. Sometimes it's good to spread the noise out so it isn't exactly the same on both sides, but whatever, I'm going to do that. So, there we go. Now, what I can do is when I'm over in the primitive section, I have access to a mask. And so if I go in here to create maps, and I don't know, I'm going to put this at 15, make it all white so it's all visible to start off with. Hit create, and I think I was supposed to go in here and save scene as, and I think I'll just use test. Okay, great. Boop. Done. And now we're painting these in. I'll just preview this. Search path. Why did that do that? Okay, let's see what happens when I take this and I go in and I start to paint. So currently, that work? Create a map, mask, bloop. Oh, and it's because I put a V-Ray material on this one. So I got to go back here and I got to assign anything but a V-Ray material, a blend. Okay, let's try it again because it doesn't know how to hook it up. So, boop, create map, mask, create. Okay, cool. Hit the button and magic. And I'm just gonna go and double click on this so I get my tool. I find this paintbrush works best. Okay, this one right here, and then I'm gonna go and paint the color of black. Okay, and then when I save this, bloop, you'll see that there's no more hair in that one area. I'm just gonna go back here to groom for a second. I'm gonna make the grooming hairs invisible, so you can see only my primitives. Okay, and I can go back here and I can grab the blur brush too, and I can blur these edges. I'm just gonna make my blur brush a bit bigger and blur. Okay, blend it. Because some of these weird ones that are standing out right here aren't quite right. And then when I save, it'll update. Okay, so you gotta do stuff and then save. And there you go. So there's number one. So what I really want to do though is change the colors of my hairs. So I need to actually go in here and create another description. So I'm going to create another description. Groovable splines, create. Okay. Now this is on. La, 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 la. Doing a bit of thinking. Okay, there it is. And I'll change the length of this one. Let's make this really long, just for fun. Okay, got a lot of hair in here. I'm just going to take my density and put it down to say 0.5. So it's less. And again, I can go in here and I can figure out how wide I want this male, make them a bit wider. Can't really see it updating until I go over here, update. Okay. And there they are. Okay, so let's go back here to the primitive section. And I'm going to go in here to make these narrow. I'll come down like this, like this. Okay, my density is sitting at 0.5. Okay, cool. And I'm just going to actually go and hide my grooming splines on this. So there's description 1. There's the other one. Okay, and I've got, if I go to grooming, I've got that turned off. Okay, cool. And if I go and I select the other one, there they are. And I'm going to hide those two. Okay, and I'm going to go back to the primitives here, and I'm going to go in here and put on a mask. Create a map. This time I'm going to make it, instead of white, let's make it black. And I'm going to hit create. And then when I go here, or go to the brush, then I'll change this color from black to white, and I'll change blur to paint. And I'll go in and make my brush just a bit smaller. And when I paint, and why is it not painting? I'm on paint, and I've got color, we went to black. Okay, there, painting white. Okay, and when I save it, those hairs come in. Okay, so I got two different descriptions, and I can kind of blend them together like this. Okay, and I could go back to grooming, and I can show it, and I can use pose. I can use noise. Okay, the noise, sometimes you'll find the noise is really, really strong. Anyway, that's working out just fine. And flip left to right, and it'll make some noisy again. Okay, great. And you can also put on modifiers too. Don't forget, you can come in here and you can put on noise. You can put on cut, change the length with cut, put on noise. And what else do you want to change in here? Anything else? Clumping maybe. Okay, add that in, and then you can change these so they have little clumps of fur. Anyway, that's done. So right now, if I render this, they will look the same. Okay, now what I want to do, because I've got two different collections here, I'm going to go into the Hypershade. And in the Hypershade, let's just quickly go in here, and I'm going to generate a couple of Vray, where am I down here? Vray hair. There. And let's just clear this out. I'll just hit the... Used to have a lovely little eraser button, and now they got that little magic stars to clear it. And I'll go in here and I'll create a hair, and I'll create another hair. And let's just move these over here so you can see what the hell I'm doing. And if I go into this one and I go there, I can open up the attribute editor. I'll change the color. I'll make it obvious red. Okay, maybe turn down some of the primary specularity on it a little bit, just so it's easier to see that I've actually done the change. Take this one and we'll make it blue. Actually, let's make it green. And I'll bring this down again. Okay. And if I'm in here, I notice something strange happens here. I've still got to do some work on this. But if I go and I just grab the description, and I go over here and I right click and assign material there, they kind of disappear over here, so I'm not sure what's up with that. And if I go in here and select the description, right click, assign material that, okay, great. And now those two different descriptions, okay, for your hair, if I go in and I render, we'll have two different colors. Okay, and so there you have it.